Good morning, everyone. This is Al coming to you once again for Kid with Souls of Brooklyn. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning into the channel. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. All the proceeds from this channel go to suicide prevention. I really appreciate you subscribing, liking, sharing. That'd be really great. Today, folks, I want to talk about an awesome, legendary store called Job Lot Trading Company / The Push Cart. Now, most of my videos are done on Brooklyn's locations, but because this was in Lower Manhattan and it was only like 7 subway stops away from me, I kind of consider this an extension of Brooklyn, which is actually Brooklyn is an extension of Manhattan. But anyway, stay tuned for an awesome video on the Push Cart, Job Lot Trading. So those of you who remember, this was an awesome, legendary store. There was 2 floors. It was located right on Church Street and Vesey, which was in walking distance to the World Trade Center. And the store opened up in the 1970s, and it didn't close till 1993. But let me tell you, this store was completely incredible. Now, what most of you folks are going to remember is there were 2 floors in this store. Now, of course, the main floor when you walked in off the street, and then there was a floor going downstairs, which had the toys and the electronics. And you're going to really love this because you're going to remember this when I say it. They had a big bullhorn speaker up there, and it was the same announcement over and over and over and over again, which said, "Watch your step, descending the stairs. Please hold on to the railing." And it was just this kind of like robotic male voice that went on and on and on. Now, I guess there was something to it because I never saw anybody sprawled out at the bottom of the steps. So I guess there was something to that thing. But for those of you who remember the store, and for like, you know, when you're talking in the neighborhood or whatever, people will say, "Well, I don't remember the name of that store over there. Hey, was that the store that had that big speaker over there and it kept repeating that same message?" We're like, "Yep, that's the store." Incredible how a store could be remembered for something like that. But it really is. That's what it's known for, as well as all the other stuff I'm going to tell you. Folks, back to the store. It was started by a man named Sam Osman, and he was actually a peddler. He was a push cart owner, and he had these push carts like in the 30s, and he just had all these little push carts, and he bought one, then he got another one, and he got used to selling things out of these push carts. So when he had enough money, he bought a store, and of course the store led into this bigger store. He actually consolidated 4 stores, so it was a pretty big place. And he had a very famous quote, and he said that his business depends on other people's mistakes. And the reason why he said that was because what he would do is he would go out, if you owned a store, like say we had a Hallmark store for 25 years, if we went out and we bought a product that wasn't selling, say we bought like, I don't know, toy motorboats as a for instance, he would come in and he would say, "Listen, I'll give you 50 cents for each one." Now these might have been going for $3 on the outside, but he would get it and he would sell it for $1. And what was so amazing about the store, as you remember, was that there was no rhyme or reason to it. You know, they had the toys and the electronics on the first floor. They had like housewares and stuff on the second floor. They had fly swatters. And I remember for me going in there as a kid, I loved it. I mean, my father used to close about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we would go down there, and he would always like, I mean, I didn't get paid. You know, he got me lunch and all that. And when I'd go over there, we'd go into Job Lot, and if I saw something really interesting, he would get it for me because it wasn't expensive. So I remember buying all these amazing things. One of the things that I remember buying was these little boats, and I'll put up a picture of it right after this. I remember buying all these little boats and submarines, and they had this little device in there. It was like a motor that went on the bottom that slipped underneath the submarine or the boat, and you put a AA battery into it, and this thing had like a little engine in it, and you could actually put that on different things too, as long as it hooked onto it, or you could even put it on a plate, as long as you slipped it on there. And I must have bought about 10 or 12 of these different things because we had a typical little Brooklyn pool in the backyard, and I used to put the submarines in there and the boats. So they had stuff like that. I remember also buying another cool item. One of the coolest items I ever bought there were these colorform. It was a colorforms thing, and it was these men from outer space, and I'll pop a picture up of it. And I actually, Job Lot had them. They came out, I did a little research on it, and I'll put that up there. They came out in 1968, and I guess there must have been a lot of them around. They didn't really sell too well. I don't know why, but I loved them. And it's so funny how things come into being, because that was the first time. Now, I think my father probably got those for me probably like in 73, 74. It was the first time I actually saw a gray. Now, I have never seen a gray, but it was the first time I've ever seen like that kind of alien thing depicted that way. And what it was there was, with the 9 planets back then, that's how old I am. Pluto was a planet back then. So the idea of these color forms things was there was a space creature from every one of the planets. And I believe it was Mars, was the Martian. But really it looked like a gray. So the one that I loved the best was the one I have on here, was the Colossus Rex. And he was from Jupiter. And they were all different sizes and they had all different powers. It was just incredible. And I think they actually did another run on these in the year 2002 or 3, whoever had the license to them. But they were amazing. And they just really stood the test of time. But that was just testament to all the amazing products that this place had. It's also funny too, you might remember this, they had these bags that were all white with like black sketches on them. So it was like a white and black type of effect. And it said, job lot trading, the push cart. But like they had all these, like, New York is all about diversity. But they had all these interesting characters on the bag. It was fat people, skinny people. They had one guy that looked like a bird. Another guy looked like a giraffe. It was just the store was really, really unique. And I mean, it was amazing. So the store stayed in business for quite a long time. The guy actually sold it, I believe, in 1980. And it kind of changed a little bit. And then actually the store lasted until about 1993. And it finally closed. But there was a lot of people that came along that tried to duplicate it. I think there was a store called Odd Lot, all kinds of variations on the job lot name. But they never really could duplicate what this guy had. It was like the old saying, often imitated but never duplicated. Because it was just the sheer amazement of going in there and just like, again, they had fishing poles, car stuff. I mean, you'd walk in there and there'd be like fishing reels on top of the thing. You didn't know what you'd find in there. It was amazing, and it was pretty organized as well. And of course, they had candy in there. They had soda. A lot of times you'd find products like from out of state. It was totally incredible, and it was a really wonderful part of childhood. And I kind of wish the store was still around today, because it would be just a totally. I mean, there's stores like that, but this place just had the amount of square footage in there. It had a lot of character, and it was one of these stores that you'd meet everybody. When you went in there, you'd meet somebody from your neighborhood, somebody from church, and they were in there scouring for merchandise. It was a great place to go, and you could buy stocking gifts at Christmas time. You could go in there and buy things for like a team. You needed like 30 or 40 items. You'd go in there and they'd have it. They'd have wrapping paper. You can get everything you wanted in this store. It was an amazing place. But finally, Sam lived to a very old age. I think he just died on February 18th of 2020. So he lived to be very old. I think he was in his 90s when he passed away. I couldn't get his exact birth date when I researched this. But again, the guy is part of legend. So folks, I'd like you guys to please make a comment on the video. Let me know what your memories are of Job Lot Trading Company, the push cart. And I mean, for instance, one of my other memories is, and I don't know the name of the store. If you guys out there, anybody's watching remembers, there was a tropical fish store that was right near Job Lot Trading Company. And it was literally like you went in on one side of, I don't know what street that was. It might have been Church Street. I don't know. But you went in on one side of the street, and this place was like a city block. And they had every kind of fish you could imagine, from tropical fish to goldfish to gouramis, you name it, it was in there. And that was also part of our Saturday, was going through that store. And, we had a little fish tank with some neon tetras in there and zebras. And I think we had some kissing gouramis. And we had a couple little things over the years, the mollies, all these different things through the years. And it was fun. So what are your memories of Job Lot? I'd be interested to hear. And once again, folks, if you could subscribe, that'd be awesome. As I say, folks, all the proceeds from this channel go to suicide prevention. We are starting a foundation for my son. Sadly, we lost my son last August of 2019. So we're starting a foundation for him. It's called the Waffles Foundation. It's going to be, our slogan is saving lives through music, one note at a time. We're going to be giving out musical instruments to children who are in need. So if you have a musical instrument you want to donate, you can contact me at wafflesfoundation@gmail.com, or just leave a comment on this video. We deeply appreciate it. We're trying to stamp out suicide the best way we can through suicide prevention, and also hopefully giving kids some focus and some direction for those folks who want to play a musical instrument and just can't. And we're going to marry them with an instrument. We're going to set them up with lessons, whatever else we can do. So folks, thank you for tuning into this chapter of the Pushcart Drawbar Trading Company. This is Al signing off from sunny Florida after a grave shift, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.